Real reason gaming isn't fun anymore. And before we start that video, I just want to say, I think the only reason why gaming isn't as fun as it was back in the days, it's because of YouTube and streaming. I think the internet is just fucking it up for all of us. The only thing I would like to at least try, I want a video game to try this for 1 month or maybe 2 weeks. Just prevent any YouTuber or streamer to like broadcast your game. Put a copyright if anyone wants to stream your game, whatever, man. They cannot put images of it. Everything belongs to you. So everyone can buy your game, play your game for that month, and then 1 month after, you just unlock it for everyone, and every gamers, every streamers, every YouTubers can finally put their guides on it. That would be fucking perfect. So at least we can try and see if this will kind of solve the problem about people not loving games anymore. Because I'm not even sure if it's gonna affect them. It may even build the hype even more, because every streamer, every YouTuber wants to be there when the game is hot. We don't know if the game is going to be hot yet. We don't know if it's going to be good. But if it's good, you're going to get a lot of views because everyone's going to play it. Everyone's liking it. So everyone's going to watch guides. So everyone's going to be able to milk as much content as they can. But if the game is guaranteed to be good because there's already been 1 month of people playing it, well, every YouTuber is going to jump on it. So I think it's even better for the popularity of the game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would want to see this at least being done once. And if it works, more games could do it in the future.
This is the real reason that gaming isn't the same anymore. You've heard it all at this point. Gaming isn't fun, and gaming just doesn't feel the same as it used to. Obviously, something has changed in gaming for the last couple of years, which is why you've seen these videos so often. Either on TikTok or here on YouTube, we've seen a lot of people talking about how gaming just isn't the same. And they're right, gaming isn't as fun or special as it used to be. But no one is talking about the real reason that it's not the same anymore.
The real reason.
A lot of people are saying it's because we're getting older, saying nostalgia is why gaming doesn't feel the same. We look...
Yes and no. I don't feel it's just about nostalgia. I think when we were young, we didn't know better. The games were older. Let's say in 2000, the fucking game was what like Tetris or something like that. And Tetris was not peak gaming. It was a good game, but it was not peak gaming. So every year, a new game that come out, it was peak gaming every single time. So it was the best game for its time, or at least that you played. For you, it was the best game in the world.
Back on the early days of Minecraft and Fortnite when we were 5 or 10 years younger, and that's what makes the game feel so special. The good old days, back when we didn't have responsibilities and
we didn't know better.
We'd come home from school and play Minecraft when it was brand new, and looking back on it, it feels special because of that. That could be true to some extent, but what about the grown-ups who enjoyed Minecraft just as much as we did as kids? Grown-ups who couldn't wait to clock out and play Minecraft all night long back in 2012. What about them? Some people say it's because gaming has become too oversaturated and competitive. People making a living off of Fortnite and Call of Duty constantly playing the game and sweating their balls off trying to hit clips day in and day out, making it so that the casual gamer, which is most of us, can't even play without getting absolutely shit on.
Yes, for example, I don't know if you guys played League of Legends and tried to create a new account. If you tried to make a new account and try to level up to maximum and just learn the game, you would fight against Smurf all day. Everyone knew the game. Everyone would shit on you because you didn't know how to play the game. And you're like, dude, it's like my second game. I don't know the game. That's actually the case. Like, I'm a new player. And you would just get shit on. And there's so many new players that probably quit that game just for that reason. So part of that, some players are so good at the game that it's making some people leave.
Definitely could be a factor for competitive games, but arguably people were extremely competitive back in the Black Ops 2 days, and people still love that game. Or the Black Ops 3 days, people definitely sweat their dicks off on Black Ops 3, but we still loved those two games, and we have a lot of nostalgia associated with them. Sure, maybe it's more saturated now, but I don't buy it. What if I told you the real reason we aren't enjoying games anymore is because of something I haven't heard almost anyone mention before? It's because of innovation. Hear me out.
You never heard someone who said that before? Come on, man. There's a plenty amount of people who said that. It's not about innovation. It's that every big companies are trying to milk the good concept. So when Battle Royale came out with PUBG and Fortnite, every company tried to take their own part of the pie, right? They wanted their piece. They wanted their money. So they made like cheap games, fast games that they could make a lot of money of. But because there were just cheap copies, people didn't stick to them, so they came back to Fortnite and PUBG because they were the original ones. They are the ones who were made with passion, and they're still alive today for this reason, right? And it's the same for all the games. People are just trying to milk. Everything's about money nowadays.
So
or mostly.
special when Minecraft had just dropped in 2012 because we had never experienced something like it before. No one had ever played a game like Minecraft. It felt so special because it was so special. Fortnite is another great example. It was so special in 2018 because no one had ever played a game like it before. The Battle Royale genre was on the rise with PUBG, but Fortnite revolutionized it with the building aspect. No one else had ever played a game like Fortnite back when it had first came out. We had all played shooters before. We had been playing Call of Duty for 10 plus years at that point. PUBG and Battle Royale style games were very fun at that time, but it still was just a first-person shooter. The concept of building had never been done before.
Totally new, I think.
Mixed with building, it was an entirely new skill set that we all got to start practicing and getting better at. Something we had never experienced before. You see, the reason gaming feels so special in the past is because of how quickly gaming evolved. People who have been gaming since Pong feel the same way that us younger kids do. It's not because we're getting older and we are no longer in high school. Rapid innovation is what made games so fun and nostalgic. We were so used to seeing something new and different every single year, which is what made it so much fun. But we've reached a point where companies are taking longer to come up with new games that no one has experienced before. Think
this
about
is true,
it.
it's harder
Gaming
now.
From 2010
it is
to
definitely
2015 changed so much more than from 2015 to 2020. In 2010, we
don't even make the comparison between 2005 and 2010. Oh my god.
Games like Black Ops 1, Red Dead Redemption 1,
That was
and
the
Fallout
good old
New
days.
Vegas. All amazing classics. But within just a few short years after those, we got even more classics such as Skyrim, Borderlands 2, and Grand Theft Auto fucking 5. Games that are far more technologically advanced than the releases even a year prior. This made gaming feel fresh and new because it quite literally was. Every year for so long, we were getting better graphics, new concepts, and new gameplay mechanics. But the issue is, we evolved so quickly that now it's hard for a company to come out with something truly innovative or new. This causes multiple issues. First off, we the consumers start to demand more from companies and quickly too. The previous AAA title wasn't enough. We need more and we need it now. This puts pressure on these developers.
Riot MMO now, this year. Riot MMO, we need you. We need you. Don't be a cheap copy of World of Warcraft. We need you to be right now, right there, innovative, fucking best game of the year, so we can finally play games again.
Giving us a new and improved game back in 2008 took a lot less time than it does now. Games like Red Dead Redemption 2 are the new standard. Games that take quite literally a decade to develop. So now, companies are pressured to release bigger and better games, and there isn't a whole lot bigger or better that we can go. This breeds disasters like Cyberpunk 2077. Games that were released too quickly due to popular demand and pressure from investors. When we're getting...
But that, to be honest, that is a false impression of big companies. They don't need to make that big game. They don't need to have the best graphic in the world. They don't have, okay, the best comparison. Nowadays, they still play Minecraft. If Diablo 2 didn't add the Diablo 2 Resurrected, people would still play Diablo 2 with the old graphic. Do you know why? Because these games are good. They're good games. So you don't have to have the best graphic in the world. And Elden Ring is another example of it. They on Twitter, they were comparing the graphics of Red Dead Redemption and Elden Ring. And Elden Ring was so much worse than what Red Dead Redemption is. But guess what? Elden Ring won the game of the year because it was such a good game. So yes, the graphic matters, of course. But you don't need super hyper realistic graphics. You don't need them. You just make a good game. Make a good story. Make a good gameplay. Clear as many bugs as you can, make a good world, and some decent graphics, and everyone's gonna play your game. It's guaranteed. You don't even need fuck about the standard about the industry. People are just hungry for good games. We just want good games. We don't give a fuck about anything else. Just give us a good game.
Getting bored and tired of games far quicker than companies can give us new games, that leaves us with one option: to fall back on games that we loved prior.
There you go.
Already played
because they're good.
Why do you think people are still playing Warzone, Fortnite, and Apex Legends to this day? Still, because they're old gems that we have had fun with.
They're
but
good.
Of course, they don't feel the same anymore. We've been playing them for years and years on end. The issue is that gaming has evolved so much and grown exponentially as an industry to the point where we can no longer improve every single year like all of us
No
have
need
been
to
used
change.
to. Think about it. The best-selling game of the year in 2000 was Tetris. The best-selling game
There
of
you go.
2010 was Call of Duty Black Ops 1. During those 10
Oh,
years,
that
we
game was
evolved
good.
so rapidly and quickly. Each year and each release felt new and innovative because it was. Now it is so hard to innovate because virtually everything has been done already. Gaming has expanded and improved so much that we are now in a rut of the same cycle of games while we wait for improvement. Because now it takes so much longer to create a great game. That's not to say that companies can't innovate still, it's just a lot harder. I'm
they
sure that
definitely
Grand Theft
can.
Auto 6 will be absolutely out of this world,
I
but it's
hope.
going to take a lot more time now. The standard for graphics is basically real life. 120 frames capability, ray tracing, and whatever the hell else. But how do you improve when graphics in games nowadays look like real life? You can't. So companies are tied to the standard of real-life looking graphics, which will already
go. I
take
just
a
talked
lot
about
of
it.
time to develop.
It doesn't matter.
And that alone isn't even close to enough for us. That's just the standard.
It
We've
doesn't
already
matter,
seen
man.
that. Real-life looking graphics is the bare minimum.
No,
so there
it's not.
better be more.
It's not. Stop thinking about that, please, man. Please. We don't need realistic graphic. It's cool, but we all know what it does. Realistic graphic just make the game take way longer to make for no reason.
Are you starting to see my point now? Of course, gaming 10 years ago feels different than it does now. 10 years ago, we were getting never-before-seen releases left and right. What people aren't realizing is that we are still seeing that now. It's just taking a lot longer. People are complaining that gaming doesn't feel as fun anymore, but that's not the case when we get a fresh new title. When Red Dead Redemption 2 was brand new, I think it's safe to say that we all felt like little kids again. We were having so much fun. It's just taking longer for those titles, which is why it doesn't feel the same anymore. Like I mentioned, companies still can innovate. Recently, we've gotten God of War Ragnarok, Red Dead 2, Elden Ring, and many more titles that I am forgetting to mention. These are all games that we will look back on in 10 years and think, wow, it was so much fun gaming 10 years ago.
Oh my god, can you imagine in 10 years saying how good that we had it today? I can't believe it, but it might happen. Just looking at 10 years ago and we're like, this was the fucking golden era of gaming. We are fucked today. Every new game is pay to win. You need to pay a DLC right off the bat if you want to play the whole game. Oh my god, I don't want to. I'm so glad we're living today. I'm so glad I could live the year 2000 to like 2015 gaming era as a young kid. I'm so glad.
Used to having to wait 5 more years for our favorite game company to release games. Take Rockstar, for example. In the last 10 years, from 2013 until 2023, they have released just 2 major titles, Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5. From 2003 to 2012, they released 9 major titles. There were actually more than that. These were just the most popular ones. That is almost 5 times more releases in the same amount of time. We were getting a new game from Rockstar every single year for 9 straight years, and then all of a sudden we were getting 1 release every 5 years out of nowhere. The average lifespan for a Rockstar game from 2003 to 2012 was 1 year. We were used to playing the games for 1 year and then getting another game that we've never experienced before with even better graphics just 1 year later. And that's just from Rockstar. Think of all the other game companies that did similar things during the same time frames. Look at Call of Duty. That game has fallen off because they couldn't innovate. They had done everything already. They had to start reselling titles that they had already seen success with in the past just to sell copies of their game.
The
we
shit
were
out of
lucky
it. They
enough
still
to have
do,
been able
man.
to experience such rapid innovation. But we've gone so far that we now need to give companies more time. We need to learn to appreciate the fewer classics that we're getting nowadays, since there are less of them. And we need to realize that there are less of them because they take longer and are 1,000 times more complex than the games were 10 years ago. If we keep pressuring companies to release games sooner because we are impatient and used to being spoiled with gems every year like before, we're only going to get disasters like Cyberpunk. Gaming changed. The days of getting really good 10 out of 10 games every year for years in a row from one single game company are over.
It's not just about us. It's about the market. The stock market need to stop pressuring the big companies to put out games because they want more money. You don't even believe how a good game can make so much more money than an average game. You don't even understand. Let's say Diablo 4 was game of the year. Diablo 4 was everything we would hope for. This game would have made like 3 times the profit they just did. 3 times, man. Because now they had the initial buy. Everyone leaves. No one buy the battle pass. No one buy anything. When they will put out the DLC, because I think it's soon, the DLC for Diablo 4, if it's not already out and I don't even know. It's probably soon. They're gonna sell it for what, like $50, $70, maybe even $100. We don't even know. Think about how many people could have bought this DLC if the game was good. But now, there's going to be like a 10 to 20% of the people that actually played Diablo 4 in the beginning that's going to buy the DLC instead of like 50 to 60%, for example. D4 bad, yeah. We do want game fast, but we do want good games. Like we don't, of course we're going to pressure people, but let's say I want the MMO from Riot game to come out like as fast as possible because I really want that title to come out. There's no way that I want them to put out a game that's half done. If they have to take 10 years to make the best MMO in the world, go for it, man. Take 10 years, man. I'm still gonna be there, I hope. I really want to play this game. I will be there and I will enjoy the shit out of it.
Understand this, or slowly we will stop enjoying gaming altogether. And that is the real reason that gaming doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah. It's so fucking sad, man. It's so fucking sad. Gotta throw him a subscribe. I'll link the video in the chat if you guys wanna give him some love.